This week I'm going into anxiety and how to manage it, how to deal with it, how to work through it, and hopefully process it. And so to start off, it's like, well, what is anxiety? And anxiety is worries or fears or, worst case scenarios, what ifs. Like we can live in these possibilities, like future based possibilities of what if this happens, or, like I'm afraid of these things and I don't want to deal with those things. So anxiety is kind of like we're projecting into the future these possibilities that will happen and get this, constant feeling of almost dread or, like wanting to avoid or and anxiety in our bodies. So how do you then deal with these, projected ideas, these thoughts, these feelings, and this anxiety? It also can be chronic problems that have come from past traumas or situations. So there's also this like underlying, you're always in, a place of anxiety. And I would say the first step is just start to notice. Are you anxious? Like, are you always in this place? For me, I didn't even realize I was at one point. I was visiting with a group of people and they were doing different body analysis type things. And they were like, you're always worried. Like, you're always in this state of worry. And I was like, oh my God. I did not even realize that I was always in this state of worry. Previously, like a couple years prior, I wasn't. I actually, was doing things and working well, and I was in visual effects work, but then I got burned out, like majorly burned out from the work I was doing. So I took some time off. And then after taking that time off, I was like, well, what am I going to do with my life now? And that's when I became this perpetual, like, I was anxious and worried and wondering what I was going to do, where I was going to go, who, it's like I did all this training with the body and different things and connecting to yourself and awarenesses, and yet I didn't know how to present that to the world. So I went back to doing visual effects work. But during that time, I still was, I wasn't satisfied doing the visual effects work, but I was always in this state of worry. Like, I need to bring in money doing other things. I don't want to do this anymore. And you can even hear my voice right now. It's like, I don't want to do this. This isn't what I want to do. So it's that anxiety, that, kind of feeling, that worry. So I then ask you, the first step is becoming aware and just noticing, are you in a state of, this kind of anxiousness or worry or fears around certain things? And if you are, do you want to switch that up? And really for me, as soon as I became aware, I actually was able to start shifting it because I was like, oh, I don't want to stay in this place. So just even having the awareness helped me shift it. So this week I'm going to continue on the theme of anxiety, and I'll go into as well social anxieties and other forms of like chronic type anxieties, or just even little things, like, oh, you get anxious and nervous about going to, or doing an exam or something. And it's like, is this anxiety stopping you from living your life? Or is it just an anxiousness that's kind of like, oh, it's here, I'm nervous, I can tell, I don't feel good in my body, but I can actually progress forward. If it is stopping you, then there are processes as well that I'll go into that will help you kind of work forward and step forward and be able to step into living your life. And on that note, I have a Patreon page. In the dialog box below, you'll see there's a link to the page. You can jump over there, and this week as well, I am really going into using some different meditations and guided visualizations that help you process and work through the anxiety in yourself. So do take a look at the Patreon and hope to see you there. This week as well, we'll be connecting into our body to really notice and sense and feel where that anxiety is. So I'll leave it on this note of, if you are anxious, notice where you feel it in your body. Like, what do you feel and where? And then can you describe that feeling? So thank you again for joining me. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. And if you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.